Hey everyone, Near Mint Nerd here for I Got Issues channel. Today we're going to do a top 5 list, top 5 original graphic novels. So an original graphic novel is not a series of comics that have been put together into a trade paperback or a hardcover. It's, it's a graphic novel that was always meant to be a bigger book. Don't really see too many of them anymore, but there's quite a few really great ones. I'm drawing my top 5 from my own collection, so I know there's many more out there, and you're going to probably want to let me know in the comments which ones I've missed, and I'd love to hear and have that discussion with you. This is going to be a 2-part video. Part 1 is going to be the softcover edition, and that's what we're going to do now. So stay tuned, and here we go. Okay, we're going to start with our number 5 book. This is The Human Target, Final Cut. This was a Vertigo book that came out in the mid-2000s. As you can see, it's Peter Milligan and Javier Peludo. And it is the DC character Human Target who... he kind of, when he goes on a mission, he completely changes himself over and completely it's kind of like he goes undercover, but with extreme body changing as well. He gets a whole new face every time, and he just goes so deep undercover, and he's done it so many times that he doesn't even remember who he originally was. And it's a very kind of noir, film noir, very dark, very gallows humor book. Very clean looking art, and it spawned an entire series for Vertigo. I think it ran about 20 issues, and it was just absolutely fantastic, and was a direct sequel. The first issue was coming directly off of this book, so very excellent book. I highly recommend this. He's hired to impersonate an aging film actor, so it's all about kind of Hollywood. The Good Guys, the new movie that came out this year, is kind of has the same feel of this book, even though this is more contemporary. That was a period piece, but it had the same kind of dark humor and noir feel to it. High recommend. There was also a TV series, Human Target, that ran for 2 seasons. A while back on Fox, and I actually really enjoyed that series, but it was not quite the same because the actor, is his name, I want to say Paul Valley, I might be wrong. He didn't go to such extreme lengths. He was more like an extreme bodyguard, but it was a really fun series. If you can track that down, well worth it. It's great fun. Okay, so that's number 5, Human Target, Final Cut. Next up, number 4 is The Black Diamond Detective Agency by Mr. Eddie Campbell on the art, and it was inspired by a screenplay by C. Gabby Mitchell. So this one is a period piece. It's about this detective agency who's trying to solve an age-old case. Who blew up the train in central Missouri? What was in the safe? And who's the suspect? And all that good stuff. It's really good. The art is tremendous. It's got kind of like a soft painted style to it, as most Eddie Campbell projects do. High recommend on this. The sad thing is it got its start as a screenplay, and that we never got to see this as a film or a TV project, which is a real shame because it's very cinematic. This is from First Second Books, if you're looking to add this to your collection. High recommend. All right, number 3, The Nobody by Jeff Lemire. Now, Jeff Lemire is another guy who has a lot of original graphic novel material out there. I went with this one because I'm a real sucker for the old Universal Monster movies, and this really is an Invisible Man tale that feels right at home in that that old school feel. It's just you know what you're getting when you get a Jeff Lemire book. Sweet Tooth is one of my favorite books from Vertigo. This one's tremendous. I'll just read you a little excerpt from the back here. The town of Largemouth never saw much excitement until the arrival of a stranger wrapped head to toe in weird bandages. Driven by curiosity, a young loner named Vicky discovers the tragic story of the bizarre accident that left him horribly disfigured. But what do his bandages hide more than just his scars? When a series of crimes unfolds, the quiet townsfolk turn on the stranger and hunt him down. The Nobody takes H.G. Wells' timeless classic character of the Invisible Man and brings him into a modern small town, using him as a cipher to explore themes of identity, fear, and paranoia, and how they can turn a small community in on itself and destroy even the most pure of friendships. Great story. High recommend. The Nobody by Jeff Lemire on art and words is my number 3 pick. All right, number 2. This is one of my all-time favorite graphic novels. We're talking about Bizarro Comics. And this is, you'll notice the Matt Groening cover, and he does have some work inside as well. But this is a true anthology book. It's just filled with all of your favorite creators. Here's the back. A whole bunch of them are listed on the back. Kyle Baker's there, Eddie Campbell, Dave Cooper. Oh, Dave Cooper is, he did a Wonder Woman story in this. There she is there. This is a cube here from his story. I actually worked on a television project with Dave Cooper. He created an animated series called the Bagel and Becky Show, about a cat and a dog, brother and sister. And I worked with him on that and helped him create the show and wrote the first 4 scripts with some of my other buddies. So I do have a personal connection to Dave Cooper, but that is not the reason I chose this book. It's because it's just so chock full of amazingly funny stories. Chip Kidd's in here, James Kochalka. It's hard to say some of these names. Tony Millionaire, Will Pfeiffer, Paul Pope. I mean, this is just a tremendous who's who of everyone in this book. Mary Severin, Jeff Smith, Jill Thompson. Oh, it just goes on and on. Incredible stories. Like some of them, look, this one here, clearly Kyle Baker, of course. It doesn't even have any dialogue. It's just like a whole bunch of indie creators who have kind of come together to make this massively entertaining book. A high recommend for Bizarro Comics. And that's my number 2 pick for softcover original graphic novels. And now to my number 1. I love this story. This is one of my favorite stories, and I'll tell you the ramifications are still going on today. And that is JLA Earth 2 by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. This, look, a tiny little book. I think it's a 64-page book. Packs so much great art and so much great story that, you know, it's a meaty read. It'll take you longer to read than a big, fat graphic novel for sure. So many heady themes in here. Amazing art. Just incredible book. We get to meet the characters of Ultraman and Superwoman and Owlman and Power Ring, the Crime Syndicate of America. They come from Earth 2, which at this time, Earth 2 was where the Crime Syndicate world was. And that's basically the polar opposite book of Earth 1 JLA. So Lex Luthor on that world is their greatest hero. The world is just a cesspool, although that's turning into our world a little bit, it seems, these days. Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely have done a lot of amazing work since. Probably some of their finest work is All-Star Superman, no question. But I would take this story every time. It is just absolutely so much fun. That's JLA Earth 2, my number 1 pick. So that's my top 5 original graphic novel softcover edition. Be on the lookout for part 2. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to like the video. And don't forget to come back and visit me again. All right, Near Mint Nerd signing off.